Hi, welcome back to Health Improvement Visionaries, HIV LLC. And on this channel, we are here to support health administrators, program leaders as you look to fill those gaps in health in your community, making sure that your minority populations, your racialized populations, your vulnerable populations, your key populations, that they all have what they need to experience even greater health outcomes. So today, we continue looking at strategies to mitigate funding threats. And we also are on, let me spin my board around, diversifying funding sources. So in the last video, we looked at exploring new grant opportunities. Today, we are looking at develop partnerships with local businesses and organizations. And it continues from the point that I was making about collaborative partners or collaborative partnerships. And I'm going to jump to B. I'm starting at B. Pitch collaborative projects. I wish when I was in my 9 to 5, that I had built on this a little bit more, because the potential for building out collaborative projects, it is huge. And it is one of those benefits that supports sustainability in such a very strong and meaningful way. And I believe that we have not tapped into this area often. And it's because, okay, I'm going to say it. We are selfish. By nature, we are selfish. We want everything for ourselves. But the thing about it is that in including other agencies in what we are doing, carve out your strength and my strength, and then build a collaborative proposal together. And I bet you that funders are going to be very excited, because not only are they able to see a bigger impact from their dollars, they are now able to say that with one project, they are helping 2, maybe 3. They're helping multiple agencies through this project. And it is important when we are looking at how to impact the health of our communities, because it's not just one community that is in need of better health outcomes. It's many, 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 many. So I think, we want to also just look a little bit closer at this area. All right, so let us go back to A, under build, develop partnerships with local businesses and organizations. And the first one is identify potential partners. Looking at partners, businesses in our communities that are vested, they have vested interest in the community and the health of the community. And I have, for example, pharmacies, wellness centers. Now, these are traditional. Sorry, my allergies are on. But these are traditional. They are non-traditional sources, right? If you have maybe a barber shop, for example, that not just it's a corner store barber shop, but it's maybe a franchised barber shop, right? So there is a lot of capital invested in this business. It could also be a supermarket, because supermarkets are getting themselves more and more aligned with the community and the health of the community. I mean, they are providing the food that we eat. So, aligning with a large supermarket can be a potential business that you can look at for building partnerships. I remember for one of our programs, we actually partnered with a pharmacy, and that pharmacy didn't give money, they gave in kind. And I'm also straddling. If you notice that these points, they cross cut, right? There's intersectionality with them. So they gave us in-kind contributions. And what were those contributions? They were actually granola bars. And we needed those because it became part of our outreach incentives. We were not able to buy granola bars with the funds that we had because of the restriction around what you can buy. But we could have the outreach activity. We could do all the activities that we plan to do in the outreach, but with our partner providing the granola bars, we're now able to use granola bars as part of the bigger project. We were able to use granola bars as we have community discussions. Persons were very interested in stopping for a granola bar, and in stopping for a granola bar, we were able to have conversations. We were able to direct persons for screening, whether you did a on-site referral or right there in a mobile testing unit. So in that case, as you identify potential partners, be broad in your thinking. What is it that I need for this project? Maybe you have several projects. So what are the gaps? Maybe it's your funding is restricted, and so you need to have incentives. Maybe you want to create a workshop. I can think of in March, every March, we had a women and girls beauty event, and at that event we wanted to have like facials and makeup artists and a masseuse with their chair and all of these things, and those things are not always captured with the funds that you have, and so you have to be creative, and being creative you are able to now leverage your partners that you have identified in your community, and they can provide those services for you. Additionally, making sure that you again align your priorities with the business's priorities. So for example, if you identify a large supermarket and they are doing, maybe they have a seniors rate on a Thursday or something like that, and in your agency you have a senior group that's looking at health, maybe looking at diabetes prevention, I see an immediate synergy between the priorities of the supermarket on a Thursday with regards to seniors and your agency with regards to seniors and diabetes and diabetic prevention strategies, maybe nutrition. I can see maybe a shopping extravaganza at the supermarket and looking using with the nutritionist or the dietitian to see what foods do we buy that are on this that are discounted on this Thursday. And I mean that can be even bigger than your program. That can be inclusive of the community. That can be a very big activity that goes beyond your agency. And then because it goes so wide, you can now leverage that to make it bigger and then increase your impact. And so in the next iteration of your funding, you could maybe go bigger because you have the data, you have the support, you have the activities that you have done to warrant that expansion. Additionally, as it relates to pitch collaborative projects, you can look at collaborating with a similar agency. But one of the things that I remember doing was we were a federally qualified health center. I'm talking about maybe a year ago. And we partnered with a community based agency that provided primarily HIV prevention and mental health. Now, was a slight overlap because we also provided rapid testing. But the thing about it is that we weren't funded to provide to purchase the kits. So we had to find the monies out of our budget to buy the rapid test kits. Now, what we did was we collaborated with this agency where they would come on our site and they would do all the testing. And so they were able to use our site to meet their quota. We were able to report the tests done from our site without spending monies the on purchasing the kits. That is a collaborative partnership. Collaborative project, we could have taken that and written it up as a separate project for funding and submitted that to a funder. So those are examples. So slight differentiation between a collaborative partnership and a collaborative project that's funded. And then I want to just dive a little bit more into leverage in-kind contributions. Now, in kind meaning non-monetary support from partners. Volunteer time. Sometimes we are doing a very big outreach project and we need more people than we have staff. If you were able to have built or first of all identify potential partners who want to support your agency, you can have those persons in a database, and so when it comes to these events that you have, you can now draw on them, and in drawing on them, they're volunteering their time and you don't have to pay out of pocket. However, your activity gets done, and that is what we want. Your community gets supported, the services were delivered as they should have been, and you were able to do that without increasing your budget. So that is definitely leveraging your in-kind contributions. Also, incentives too, right? If you were able to have one of your partners provide the services, so whether they hired the makeup artist or the masseuse, or they gave you a space in which to have the community activities, those are in-kind contributions and those are quite valuable to implement in your programs. Expertise, we don't necessarily tap on this, but this is very important. Maybe some agencies have this down pat, but I know from the agencies that I've worked in, not as much, but the potential is huge. One of the things that you can do here is that you could have an expert come in and address persons in your workshop. So whether it is that you don't have a dietitian on staff and you don't have the funds for a dietitian, you could actually get a dietitian who is volunteering their time, and they're now able to speak to your seniors group about how to manage and prevent their diabetes, and foods that they can eat, and maybe answer questions that the group has, and also have food demonstrations, right? And I remember attending a seniors group that they were focused on diabetes prevention, and they made like granola snacks, using yogurt and oats and those types of fruits and so forth. So those really practical tools, you can utilize an expert to come in and deliver these workshops that you are not paying for. And maybe it is, you can, in a situation like this, you can partner with that expert. Maybe they are from an agency, and so now you are able to collaborate. Maybe you are able to refer patients to them, and so on another line, they are now able to get expand their clientele. They are able to get monies for their services because they have contributed their time. So it can be mutually beneficial. And so this is very important that we take advantage of these many opportunities to leverage in kind contributions to improve the health of our communities. So this is the second of strategies to mitigate funding threats: develop partnerships with local businesses and organizations. Again, I do hope you got a little bit of insight that you can now utilize in your agencies to improve the services you're delivering so that our communities can be in better health. Until next time, have a good day.